Over 80 million households watched Bridgerton in its first month, and Barbie was the biggest film of 2023.
Everyone who made this movie.
Today we're talking to two women from those worlds. Hollywood made over $40 billion globally last year, but for decades, disabled women were almost invisible on screen. That changes now. From Regency ballrooms to billion-dollar blockbusters to literal zombie apocalypses, today's guests are proof that limb difference is not a limitation, it's a revolution, and we're talking about all of that in film. If you still think limb differences don't belong in Barbie dream houses, blockbuster films, and period dramas, then this episode, trust, is going to humble you.
It is me. After I marry a well-to-do gentleman.
Hello my gorgeous tech lovers, my name is Tilly Lockie. Welcome back to Tilly Talks Tech, and today's episode is about to be iconic. We've got the 3 R's on the show today: red carpets, robotics, representation, and rewriting the rules of Hollywood. 5 R's. Today I'm joined by not one, but 2 complete powerhouses. Also, we've never had 2 guests on the podcast before. Hello. And I actually just love them both. They're amazing ladies. We have the incredible Gracie McGonigal, who plays Hazel in Bridgerton Season 4. Yes, that Bridgerton. Corsets, drama, and limb difference representation now as well on one of the biggest shows in the world. How cool is that? We also have the unstoppable Ashley Young. She's a dancer and she's appeared in Barbie, Wicked, and most recently, 28 Days Later, as a zombie. If that's not versatility, I don't know what is. Ladies, welcome to Tilly Talks Tech.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thank you so much for having us on. I'm so excited to be here, having a little catch up.
In it, like, I'm not being funny, this is an episode I've been looking forward to for the longest time. I know both of you, met up with both of you, but it's been so long. And you guys haven't met, so I was like, I need to link these guys up. And I just feel like we'd have such a good chat. First of all, I just want to say, I'm like so proud of both of you, because you're just out there, like, doing bits. I'm obsessed, and you're just both absolutely killing it. There's obviously one thing that we all have in common, right? And it's that we're all limb different. We're all missing a hand or two.
Yeah.
What?
Hey.
You know, join the club. Do you know what I mean?
Love it.
So I wanted to start there, like growing up as limb different girls, because you guys are both in like Hollywood doing crazy stuff now. Was that ever an industry that you thought you could get into growing up as limb different girls?
Do you want to go first, Gracie? You can.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to take this one to begin with.
Yeah.
I mean, no is the headline. I did not think that this would be my job. I knew that I loved it, and there was nothing stopping me from doing it at the level that I was enjoying it when I was a kid or a student. But I definitely hadn't sort of put 2 and 2 together that I'd be able to do it long term. I think especially because when I was young, there was a wonderful presenter on CBeebies who had so much backlash from just being sort of like a public figure. And I was just like, well, great, that's just gonna happen to me. I remember being quite young and being like, oh, like everyone's cool with me, but they don't seem to be cool with her. And I'm not really sure why. So I think maybe subconsciously I was like, oh, maybe this isn't the place for me. Then I sort of just like kept doing it and sort of just cracked on. But like, you know, it definitely took a lot of different conversations for me to be like, oh yeah, like I can do it at this level, I can do it at this level, until one day I was kind of acting professionally and I was like, oh, here we are.
What about you, Ashley? Because you're a dancer, you're more of a dancing background. How was that for you? Did you feel like that?
I would say definitely. I never grew up seeing anyone who looked like me at all, because when I first started doing all of this, it was kind of way before social media. So I never saw anyone who looked like me, like just as a human walking around. I'm from a very like small town in the US. I started working at Universal Studios as a scare actor performer in 2013. And that was kind of like my introduction to acting. I had always been a dancer. I don't know how I got into dance necessarily. I think the teacher saw that I could do a split and she's got it. She's got to be on the team. And that kind of like shaped my career. But my dance teacher was kind of like the first person to believe that I could kind of move into this space. So I'm really thankful for that. When I was at Universal Studios, I was like a zombie typecast for so many years. That it got to the point that it was just ridiculous, because I was like, we're 5 years in at this point. I'm like, I have a lot more to offer than
Mhm.
to just do that. And it felt like I had to fight for a lot of things, especially as a performer. I tried to move into the modeling space in 2018, and there was a guy who called me, an agent, and he's like, well, I don't have the clientele for your kind, is what he said. And I was like, my kind?
My
I
kind?
was like, what are you talking about? Yeah, it was horrendous.
What? Name and shame, get him cancelled.
Yeah, I mean, he was in Tampa. I don't remember exactly what agency it was. But yeah, it was really discouraging.
It's difficult, you know, like you guys were kind of like you're paving the way at the end of the day, but like it's exhausting, like you say, like you just want to do this thing because you enjoy it, but there's so many like hoops you gotta like jump through. You guys got yourself into the rooms regardless, which like round of applause, period. Love that. What were the like main hurdles and what propelled you forward to just do it anyway?
Yeah, I think, well, for me, my younger self and feeling very alone. I feel like the best thing that you can do is have a community, and just see people who look like you. And I don't want anyone to feel that way. And I feel like if I could use my like talent, and my passion for what I'm doing, and then also make people feel less alone, I feel like that's my goal 100%.
That's really nice. I guess mine's sort of similar. I loved this as a kid. Like I really liked acting. I never got into dance. Which I'm keen to know what dance classes you started in, like what kind of genre of dance. Because I know I started in ballet when I was like 2, and my ballet teacher was like, "Well, you won't be able to do any of the exams because you don't fit the requirement to do the exams." So naturally, and to be honest, my mum was so right for this. She was like, well, she's not doing it then. Because what do you mean, like, she can't do the exams? Like, that's so... What's the point in her turning up here, paying her money every week? Not like I was paying money. But my mum was paying my money every week for me to turn up to this ballet class and not be able to do the grading or anything. So I'd be constantly, like, behind my peers and stuff, and I never had that problem in drama, and they sort of just let me go, and they really pushed me as well, my like school drama class. But the question is to you, like what kind of dance styles did you get into originally?
Yeah, so originally it was jazz, and it was on dance team. So in America, I feel like dance team is very it's like a whole different genre on its own, because we're supposed to look like every other dancer there, which like looking back, I'm like, I really tried to like look like everyone else. I feel like I never like danced for me, and like I just always tried to do the moves as like normally as possible, but I did start with jazz, and then we moved on to like hip hop, and I never did any ballet. I didn't do ballet. I didn't do tap.
Maybe that was my problem.
Yeah, I don't know.
I didn't do jazz. Like maybe I should have done jazz.
Because jazz is just like fun. It's like be yourself. You know, put your own style into it.
Oh, well, I'm also a ballet hater. I also did ballet for like 2 weeks. So that's something else we all have in common. Let's get on to some of your projects, right? Because you're crazy. I mean, Gracie, you're all over like musical theatre, Into the Woods, Little Big Things, love it. And you recently bagged Bridgerton season 4 as Hazel. Like, what the freak? That is such a dream role. And as somebody who like literally missed the Bridgerton train, I've like just been like catching up to like chat to you guys about it.
You missed the Bridgerton train.
Honestly, I'm so dumb. I feel like I'm a sci-fi gal. I didn't realize I would eat up period dramas as much as I have, but like apparently, you know, I really did miss the train, but I'm loving it now. So low-key fangirling. How did that come about for you?
Oh my goodness. I mean, that as well came up really organically and through just like good team and nice people. But yeah, like as you said, like I started in musical theatre. I mostly started in panto to begin with, because I didn't go to drama school because I had, once again, some bad experiences when people were like, we don't know where you're gonna fit, we don't know what roles you're gonna do. Like essentially I heard a lot of negative language being like, we don't know where we're gonna put you. Which is so distressing, because
it's so annoying.
It's so annoying because I'm like, do you not see like what I have to offer in other areas? but that's how I felt, and that's what was being said to me. And essentially I was like, look, I don't want to deal with you. I don't want to deal with this institution, because it's the same kind of chat that I was getting at ballet back in the day, which is that while you're inside the institution, you're not going to, like, people aren't going to see what you can do in the world. And I found essentially London theatre to be a lot more woke. Essentially didn't really know what to do. And I couldn't get any auditions for anything. So I started in pantomime, which was the best thing I could have ever done. It was so wonderful and inclusive. And my first role was playing Aladdin's brother.
Love it.
Love it. In a musical. And then I got an agent from doing that. And they've ended up being so amazing and pushing me for everything. And essentially that led me a few jumps away, but I ended up doing this show called The Little Big Things, which is this West End musical, which was kind of all disabled led. And that was just the most wonderful show. And I was just lucky enough that the Bridgerton team came to see it.
Cool.
Essentially, the casting team just came to see the show, and my agents sort of took them out for a drink afterwards and was like, hey, like, obviously no pressure. But Gracie really, really likes the show. Like, if there's anything that comes up in the future, like, you know, because also at this time, like, there wasn't any sort of leading or supporting disabled characters outwardly on the show. It was kind of like, well, if you ever fancy it, like, she'd love an audition. A year later, an audition came through, and it was full of NDAs or like aliases and stuff, and I was like, this is reading like Bridgerton. I was reading it and I was like, all the names were changed, kind of unidentifiable, and I was like, I think I know this is Bridgerton. So cool. But I ended up just getting it, and in many ways it's really changed my life. Breaking into the telly world was just something that I never kind of thought I'd do, so I'm really glad that that's happened. Sorry, I spoke for ages there.
That was so exciting.
No, you didn't. It's so interesting to like hear the whole story.
Even when in my vision board, when I thought I'd get Bridgerton, in my head it would be like a one scene kind of deal. I didn't realize it would be such a big commitment. Even when I auditioned for it, I did one self tape. What do you mean I'm in 6 of the 8 episodes?
So cool.
Like, that's loads. Like, that's so much work.
That is.
Like, I did like 9 months. I did like 9 months of filming on that job. It's like, what? Can you know, I couldn't believe it.
Oh, I can, because you're incredible. So I can believe it. You know what's funny? Let me just point something out. You're on all of like the train barriers for Into the Woods at my station. I see you every day. Every day. I'm like tapped in. I'm like, that's Gracie. It's so cool.
Similarly though, like Ashley, you too had some like pretty major breaks recently. Like, girl, you were in Barbie, you were in Wicked, and I don't even know where we should start with that. So I'm gonna let you take the lead. Like, Barbie, that's huge. Wicked was like massive. How was that for you?
Just incredible. Yeah, it all happened just through Instagram, actually, which is very interesting. They reached out and they were like, we're looking for like a limb different dancer to audition for Barbie, and I thought it was a scam at first. You like get so many. Well, you get so many like random DMs on Instagram that sometimes you're like, it's hard to decipher.
It came through your DMs.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it was wild. It was wild, and I was like, yeah, I'll go and see, you know, what it is. I'll audition. I was like, okay, I'll go. That seems like a legitimate building, you know. It's like everything seems fine. So yeah, I went and auditioned, and it was really cool because it was me and a bunch of other disabled dancers, and we all came together. We were so excited. We're so pumped. Yeah, auditioned for it, and then we had a second audition at Warner Brothers Studios, and there were 2 of us who got cast in I was like, living in the Barbie world. We were cast as dancers, and then they decided to like keep us on to build the, you know, the dream house world. And it was
so cool.
It was really cool. It was weird because I did go in with my arm. Like, I don't dance with my prosthesis at all. but I was almost like afraid to come to the director and be like, can I take this off to dance? Like, because when I got hired for Barbie, they were very like interested in seeing the arm, seeing if they could paint it and like make stuff with it. Because I was scared that I would say like, I don't dance with my arm on, and they're gonna be like, oh, that's fine, you're leaving the set now, to like take it off, and then to come to Greta with it, and she was like, yeah, Barbies can have arms or not, and I was like, oh yeah, true, okay. I was like,
That's really like euphoric and nice.
yeah, it was very like eye-opening too, because I don't know, Gracie, like going to a director sometimes is a bit scary because they're the director, right? So my heart was like pounding. They're like, Greta wants to have a word with you. I was like, oh gosh, this is my last day on set, they're gonna kick me off. But yeah, it ended up being really good, and I had it on for a good portion of it, but all the dance scenes I had the arm off. So I feel like Wicked was quite special because all of us in Emerald City, everyone was so different. Like there wasn't just one token disabled person as a dancer in the ensemble, but there was multiple of us. Everyone was completely different in every aspect, you know, so I feel like it was a very inclusive set, and everyone was thought about.
Speaking of these like sets and things, both these projects you both worked on are like a whole like epic world, you know, they build these epic sets, and the costumes are outrageous. Like, well, Bridgerton, it's all like glitz and glam and scandals and you know, all of that. And so I wanted to hear about like the little technicalities like that, you know, how the costuming was, and how it was with like your limb difference, and yeah, just how was that sort of process? Was that all right?
For me, I felt so looked after on Bridgerton, and for me as someone who is a working disabled person in the show, in like that I'm a maid, I'm using my hand all the time, and I'm like working very physically, I think those conversations were really lovely to have in the costume design space, because I'm there like, you know, they're adapting all my costumes, so my left hand sleeve is shorter naturally, but it's also conversations about how I would like that to be. Like, do you want it to feel like it's the same length but it's been ruched up? Because maybe that's something that would be accessible to her. Like, does she not have a lot of money? Is she just wearing someone else's uniform that she's had to adapt? Versus, has she gone to the tailor and got this made shorter for her? Like my wedding outfit, spoiler, at the end of the show, that is perfectly tailored, because it was very important to me that for her like posh outfit, she's gone out to the shop and she's gone, no, make it for me. I'm never selling this. This is what I'm going to wear at every special occasion for the rest of my life. But for me, I thought it was very important to have like almost like a ruched effect for my maid outfit. Like, I turned up the sleeve because I wanted it to feel like that was something very active that I'd chosen to do, even though it was an illusion and they'd sewn it like that. Not only am I communicating about like my needs, but also about story and let's talk about what would it be like if I was really here in the world. Because like, I haven't seen much negativity online, but the little sprinkling I've had has kind of been like, well, she probably wouldn't even be working if she was in Regency England. And I'm like, what, did we just die?
Right.
Like, what did we do then? You know, like, it's not, maybe I wouldn't be working for the really big house, and maybe that's like a bit of fantasy romantasy luck. But like, you do just, we've had to sort of roll up our sleeves and get on with it forever, I fear.
Yeah.
No? Like,
very true.
That has definitely been something that I felt really looked after by the Bridgerton team.
Yeah, that's really cool. Like that like carried through, and all the technicalities and stuff as well. Like, that's really awesome. And Ashley, you've obviously had loads of fab outfits in like Wicked and Barbie too. And I'm also super intrigued as well to, you know, your most recent project was 28 Days Later, which is quite the contrary, because you're like, you transformed into a zombie on that one. Like,
I know.
how is that like different? You know, how does that happen?
You know, it's so strange. I feel most comfortable as a zombie. Like, I feel so comfortable as like a horror creature character. I think maybe because that's my background anyway, is like starting as a scare actor and performer, and my family kind of grew up in that genre. My mom showed me and my sister us the original It at 6 years old, which firstly traumatized us, and secondly, we fell in love with the genre. So, you know, there's there, but I feel really comfortable when I'm like covered in a bit of dirt. That was just so cool. So I was hired on that to be like a special action stunt performer, do the arm pull. Obviously, they had asked me in the beginning if I was comfortable with being submitted for this. And I think firstly, that is like step one, probably the best thing that you can do is just make sure that whoever you're submitting for it, they're like comfortable. So I was involved with the whole process of like making the rest of the arm. We had to match it to this hand. We worked on like the sleeve and the rig and everything for it together. I can't lie, it was really weird seeing myself with two hands. It was a very strange and like surreal experience because it did look so similar to like this arm. It was a bit with the arm pull, it's just like one like particular sequence. So yeah, I think there was less conversation, but it was cool. It was fun.
There's still visibility though. Like it's kind of important, and it's also just so iconic when those roles come around where it's like, hey, so it really should be you.
Yeah,
Definitely.
it's like
Yeah.
those roles where it's like actually an amputee would do this a million times better than somebody else.
Yeah, it's like, this is for you. It is sent your way. Time to body it, you know?
Definitely. Well, that's the thing, like a lot of people online, they were like, I thought it was CGI, or I thought it was something to do with VFX. Like I didn't know they actually had someone with a limb difference doing it. And I think that's the important part, is that we are a part of it anyway. Like I don't want to see someone, no offense, with two hands try and do that. You know, I would rather it be me.
I love a practical effect too. Like,
yeah, same.
I think it's so easy to just like CGI stuff and not have to think about it and think about how to make this possible, you know. I think especially like when we go back in history, there's been a lot of disabled people involved in theatre and cinema because people have had to think creatively and be like, how are we going to make this effect look and feel super real and cool and authentic? Exactly. And that's been like, there's a long historical thing that has meant that there's been roles for disabled people in this world, and I'm so keen not to lose that.
100%.
So funny. No, seriously. Yeah, super, super, super cool. And obviously, I have to bring a little bit of tech into this because this is Tilly Talks Tech. You both have your different bionic arms.
Yeah.
And I've seen, Ashley, you've been all over with like koala and stuff at the minute. Gracie, you had a hero arm, which is what we talked about way back when.
Nice.
Yeah. And how do you think those prosthetics have, you know, just integrated or worked with you in your career, whether it has at all?
Well, I'll say I have used the koala arm to do stunt rehearsals so many times now. I feel like it has been something I didn't know that I needed for a long time. And I know it's not a myoelectric, it's just basically an activity arm, but just to have it there is kind of like opened my world a little bit. Like I can do things on my hands, I can do more creature performance kind of stuff in rehearsals with the arm. And excitedly, something I'm working on now, they're incorporating that arm into my character too.
Cool.
So it's really like it's really
cool.
opened the world up a little bit. I used the Kobe hand with the gold frame in Barbie, and that kind of made everyone give me the nickname of Bionic Barbie, and I feel like it really like hit and ran with it. And it's cool. I think technology is so amazing, and it's cool that everyone gets to see it.
Yeah, I just like the range that it's given me in terms of projects. You know, if there's something that feels a little more sci-fi, a little more modern,
right?
Like, I just think
you can like
really
adapt
cool.
to the genre.
You know, I know just as how I would dress myself to go to an audition and I choose the outfit that I'd wear. I choose whether to wear my arm or not, and how to dress it up too. You know, it's not a job that I have done thus far, but I think seeing like a bedazzled arm in something like Six would just be so cool.
So cool.
And when I self-taped for the show, I've always worn it. The last time I was in for it, fortunately, I had another job on the table, so I had to withdraw myself. But I was in finals for Six, and if I had got the job, then that would have been probably a full-time Bionic show for me, because you know, and it didn't end up happening. But I just really enjoy the opportunities and doors that it opens, because like, yeah, with something like a period drama like Bridgerton, like I'm not gonna wear it, but there definitely is space for it in different projects. Like I was auditioning for, and I also didn't end up doing it, but when SpongeBob was around, I auditioned for the computer.
Amazing.
No.
I love that.
Like, it was like, how rad would it be seeing someone with like bionic arms playing the computer?
That would be so good.
I did, you know, like to kind of think about that with my arm, and think about like, which shows would they be silly not to cast a bionic arm?
True.
Because it's going to enhance a project in the same way that it would enhance an outfit for me on like a you know, a red carpet or in my everyday life, I guess.
Yeah. And it's so cool. You see it in like so many other avenues as well. Like there's you guys with bionic arms that could be cast. There's also like, you know, it helps with like stunt work, costume design is like a massive one, being able to make that more adaptable and stuff. Character storytelling, like all of this stuff is super duper cool. And ultimately it makes this killer show where ultimately like other little girls can get to see you on the screen and realize they can do it too, right? So let's talk about the impact a little bit, because when a young limb different girl sees you in Bridgerton or Barbie or Wicked, that changes something. Do you feel the weight of that responsibility?
I would say
vibing?
For sure. Well, I think vibing, but also I think just being there is the weight, isn't it? Because it's just like, how cool is it that I'm here? Like even here, I didn't even think I could be here. I mean, I'm sure Gracie, you've gotten it too, but like the DMs, especially from parents too, who are saying like, you know, my daughter saw you in Barbie and she looks exactly like you, and like she watches it every other weekend or something, and like it is such a massive impact. Like I wish I had that as a kid, so it's so important.
I mean, also for like me, lol, when I saw you vibing in I was just there, like genuinely, I was gagged and gooped. I was just like, it still makes me so happy seeing it. Like when I'm out here seeing people just nail it with their skills and also taking up space, like it's just so good. And I get it. I get why the DMs come through. When they're that, because if I was that age again, God, like, to just see someone, to have a movie that's downloaded on your, or that you own
the iPod
in your house, like, and seeing someone with one arm on it or no arms on it, like, I don't know, I just, that's why. And
for sure,
that's the main thing that I think has really warmed my heart about the Bridgerton stuff, is the fan response and the how happy people are to just see me doing it. You know, also on like a character level, some people also don't care, which is also great. In the flip side, it's like, great, well, the people who don't care are convinced by the story. And the people that do care, it means loads to them.
It's so cool, because I feel like ever since you debuted on Bridgerton, people like send your stuff to me and they're like, have you seen this?
Yes, same.
And it's so cool, because they're like, you know, they're thinking of that and they want people to know, and like, Oh, I just love it.
Or I feel like
You
all of
know?
our stuff just gets sent around in a little circle, and all of us are like, "Go, girl!"
Yeah.
I know. Genuinely, the stuff I get sent of you two as well. Like it always has been. Like it's really nice, but also just knowing that our community is really strong.
Yeah.
And that we look out for each other and we celebrate each other here. It's nice as well because we can all
Definitely.
coexist
It's
and celebrate
true.
each other's wins.
Yeah, I agree with that so much. I feel like if it's not like me doing something, it better be someone else in my community. You know, like
Exactly.
Like there's not room for just one.
no,
There
exactly.
is room for us all. If we were all just, how funny would it be if we were in like a project where all three of us were just vibing there, like,
Oh my gosh.
Hey.
We should do that.
Oh,
We should do that.
Oh, it's so fun. Oh my god, no, wait, no, why is that on my bucket list now? Like, should we,
Yeah.
should we all just like rock up?
Funny.
Just gonna rock up all to the same audition, be like, you know, if one of us are in, all of us are in.
Genuinely
Exactly.
though, because oftentimes, like even now, you know, my goal is always kind of proportional representation.
Yeah.
Which for I guess limb different girlies probably is one in quite a lot.
Mhm.
But you know, when you're working on a show like Wicked,
Yeah.
if you know, out of the like 200 300 probably more, I don't know how many people were on set with you, but out of all those people, you know, let's look at the stat. How likely would
Yeah.
it be that there'd be another limb different person there
Exactly.
or another disabled person there? That's 1 in 4.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, so
Yeah.
trying to look around and you're like, hey, so there's room for more of us.
I loved Barbie so much, but I felt like sometimes it was a great experience, but sometimes it was either me or Maya, and it was like, well, why can't we both be in the scene? You know, like
Right.
Yeah.
we should both be included in
Yeah.
every scene.
Yeah.
So I think like the great thing with Wicked was that there was so many of us.
And that kind of tracks to my next question, because I was gonna say we've come very far, we have, but we could still go further. You know, we could still push it even more. And I was gonna
Yeah.
ask you guys, having been in the industry, what do you think still needs to change? What should be like the priority? Because it's not just about casting; it's also about production design, directors, like the whole ecosystem behind that.
For me, I come from, I guess, the musical theatre world, and most of my experience has been in theatre. I would really like to see some more old-fashioned / long-running shows
True.
think about having to look at their characters and roles differently in order to include people with disabilities. There are still many shows that I fell in love with growing up that I wouldn't even get seen for, which makes me feel sad, because it's like, how many credits does a girl have to get seen for a long running show? And also, like, there's been a lot of improvement with like Wicked, for example, when at the top something changes as in the Wicked movie, and it makes people have a little bit of a wake up call and go like, oh, we should probably be seeing some disabled actors for the disabled roles
Yeah.
in the show. But there are plenty of kind of long running disabled characters in shows that are still not being played by authentically disabled people, and I think that needs to change very soon.
Yeah.
Very soon, please. Because it's just icky, like, when, you know,
Yeah.
I think also, like, the argument is always like, oh, well, they won't be able to do like this bit of the track. That was always the thing with Nessa Rose, casting a wheelchair user, is like, well, she does this bit in another bit of the show where she's not playing Nessa Rose, so she'd need to be able to stand to do that. And it's like, A, have you ever heard of ambi wheelchair users?
Right.
And B, like, hey, so can we not just rehearse something else? Like, do we not have like some other people in the show that maybe could take that bit and just like revisit it? Because at the end of the day, inclusivity is more important than sticking to tradition when it comes to a show that's existed for 20-30 years.
Yeah, I agree.
So true. Yeah, I agree with all of that. I feel like too, like just having roles that they're looking for everyone essentially. Like I know I get a lot of like very specific amputee like related roles, but just pushing people for everything, and not just that, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, super cool. I agree. And in the future, what would be your like dream scenario in 2035? What does Hollywood look like? Let's pray in like 10 years time.
Limb different A-listers, let's go. I feel
And
like
it's us.
yeah, and it's us. Exactly. Exactly.
I just want to, like, my goal with acting has always just been to just gently work forever and be in projects that I'm super proud of. And like, if the Hollywood sphere can facilitate that, where there are lots of jobs coming through and not just like, hey, like you're gonna have to speak about how hard it was like losing your arm. Do you know what I mean? Like those kind of roles, which are great as well and bring a lot of and there's still a use, and I haven't actually done that many of them, so I'm still very, very happy. Sign me up to do them. But yeah, definitely it being a space where it's just normal, you know, where instead of it being like the first disabled actor to do this thing, like, you know, as we had before with like, wow, like, isn't it amazing seeing a Black actress do this job? And it's like, hey, so that's not, we don't need to be doing that in 10 years time. It just needs to be like, wow, we're celebrating this person's amazing achievements instead of making it a clickbaity thing about having a limb difference, I guess.
Yeah, I think ultimately we just want the next generation to not even blink at that. Like on screen, in person, you know, everybody's different. Like, anyways, and so you should see that too, right? There's
already a lot less pointing. I've found.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I've noticed that.
So I'm guessing people are raising their kids with a little bit more knowledge these days, which is already great. We're already seeing that.
Yeah. Like to see it already paying off, and like, because some people, I think people are like, representation is a myth, like it's not going to change anything. It freaking does.
Yeah,
like,
it has. Yeah,
having like all of us would have grown up like stairs, like pointing like 24/7, and I have noticed that too. Like it's gone down, and I feel like that can only be due to like more representation, more education around the topic. Do you know what I mean? And it like makes me so happy to know that little girls like us will have to deal with that less. Right?
Yes.
Even just a little bit less. Obviously, we want to eliminate it, but for now, thank God.
Yeah, very much.
Okay, guys, thank you. We're coming to the end now. I just have a couple of rapid fire questions. If you want to take it one at a time. Are we ready?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, first of all, is there a character that both of you would like love to play?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
When I'm older, I'd like to do Miss Lovett in Sweeney Todd.
Ooh, that would be cool.
Love that. I feel like not specifically, but I would love to be a main like creature in a horror film.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's my vibe.
I think we should all just be creatures. We should just,
I would love it.
You know, like just one film that would really just take over and just send everybody with a limb difference into just like
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay, and next up, one myth about limb difference you want gone.
That we can't do things.
Yeah.
Let us do things. Let us live.
Please.
Let me live. That we can't go about our lives and can't become mothers and can't experience romance as well. That's something.
True.
I want to see lots of people with disabilities getting sexy on the TV.
Period.
Same.
So cool seeing that in Bridgerton as well, because you know you got your little romance thing going on. Hazel does.
It's important for me to have it because I'm like that. You know, I rarely see disabled people getting their mans on TV.
Right.
True.
That's a whole other conversation, by the way. We could have a whole other episode about that because, goddamn, the way you feel like you'll be single forever just because you have no hands, like, it's actually a joke.
It's crazy, and it's also not true. It's so not true, and beauty standards and everything, and blah, 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 blah.
Okay, we're gonna be negotiating for another date in like 6 months time.
Perfect.
And final question I have, important one. What is one piece of advice you'd give to young girls, right, who had a limb difference or just feeling that sort of way? What advice would you give to any young girls growing up seeing you?
I would say keep going and love yourself for who you are. That's it.
Definitely. Seconded. And also don't hide it behind your back in pictures.
Yes.
Or don't like pretend like you don't like have it. Like it's part of you. And everyone can see it. And that's no matter what you do. So you may as well just really enjoy yourself.
Bring it out.
Yeah, might as well cover it in glitter, put false nails on it. I got my nails done.
Love it. Oh my gosh.
I was like, just in time for this episode. I know, right? Honestly, thank you guys so much. This has been so much fun. Dare I say my favorite episode so far. If anybody wants to follow you, where can we find you on socials? Give us a little plug.
Yeah, Orlando Cyborg Ashley on everything. Instagram, TikTok, Threads, YouTube. There we go.
Mine's Gracie McGonigal on Instagram and TikTok. That's kind of it. I feel like I don't have any other that I check. So probably don't follow me anywhere else.
And you can also catch her on Bridgerton on Netflix now as well.
Yeah.
And you can see Ashley in cinemas. So cool. Honestly, love you guys so much. Thank you. And I hope everybody goes and follows you because you're doing amazing work and meaningful work. Like,
thank you.
Amazing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys. I'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness, I love those girls with my whole heart. Like, I swear we're also similar as well. We're just girls who are on the screen. How cool. You definitely need to check them out on the productions that they're already in, like Gracie on West-End and stuff, on TV as well, both of them. Like, every time I see them, they're doing something new, and it's just so impressive. I definitely recommend you check them out. I definitely recommend you watch season 4 of Bridgerton, which is brand new, and Ashley's latest one, 28 Days Later. I really hope you enjoyed this episode of Tilly Talks Tech. I had so much fun in this episode, just really getting into the girly chat. And yeah, I got my nails done as well. How cool is that? Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Tilly Talks Tech. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, share, do whatever it is you like. Let me know who else we need to get on the podcast or any topics we should talk about or debates, perchance. And I will see you next time.